Hi, I'm Michael Newcomer, and I am going to be critiquing the top 5 most streamed songs on Spotify. I don't actually hate it. It's not terrible. These guys actually have pretty good flow for being in Spanish. And I was going to say, I actually like the fact that one of the top 5 songs streaming on Spotify is a Spanish song. And these kids look normal. They don't look like rock stars, which is what I really like about them too. But the girls look like rock stars, which is what I like about this too. They should have more close-up on the girls in these videos. This girl was like rubbing the fat kid's hair. That's fucking awesome. I would pay for that in my video. Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, Die With A Smile. I'm a big fan of Lady Gaga. I haven't heard the song yet though. I love Bruno Mars' voice. His voice has so much energy and he doesn't even have to try. Like the anger in his voice comes out very naturally and he doesn't have to actually be screaming or being angry. He just has a lot of attitude in his vocals. It sounds great. I would have mixed it a little differently, and especially if I knew the music video was going to come out with the main artist playing the guitar and piano, I would have raised the mix of the guitar and the keyboards a little bit louder. I like that she's smoking in the video. People never smoke cigarettes. It doesn't look cool anymore, apparently. My hands shake because I'm on Abilify. You can put that in there. It makes me feel like why is his hand shaking? I take Abilify for schizophrenia, and it makes my hands shake. I'm not talking very much because I'm actually enjoying this song. It's actually a really good song. I like Lady Gaga because she doesn't look all plastic. She looks natural. She's like naturally pretty. When I heard that they did a collaboration together, I didn't think that their voices were gonna mesh well together, but it actually sounds really good. Benson Boone, Beautiful Things, a music video. Country's kind of coming back. It kind of has like a country vibe to it. It doesn't so far sound like a country song, but it kind of has a country vibe to it. They're carrying actual instruments. And these kids actually look normal too. They don't look like on drugs or anything. They look healthy, which is what I like. I remember when I was growing up, the artists that were like popular when I was a kid, they were all totally fucked up on drugs and alcohol. I remember like watching Korn music videos and them just drinking Coors Light like nonstop and thinking that was the coolest thing ever. These kids look like they're healthy. It's a good song. I thought I was gonna hate this. I really did. I really thought I was gonna hate the top 5 streaming songs of Spotify, but it's not bad so far. I like the high mids on a guitar, like that scratchiness that you get when you strum, like texture of the strumming. That comes in like the high mids of a mix on the guitar. That's what I like to hear when I especially listen to a rock band. I like to hear that like Nirvana kind of sound of guitars. This is what is lacking, I think. And a little more air in the kick drum. There's too much low end on that kick drum. It's making it drown out. I don't know. Sabrina Carpenter Espresso, official music video. Is this Spanglish? No, it's not. Why haven't I heard of this video before? That's an awesome job. This video is hilarious. I actually like the way this song's mixed. I like mixing female pop vocal songs because the background music, you have so much freedom to experiment with sounds and textures. I feel like male artists, they're more traditional compared to female vocal artists. They could like, I was gonna say something that was not very politically correct. Girls getting arrested by the cops. This is kind of hot. This video is awesome. So the number 1 song is Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish. I like Billie Eilish's voice. It's very soothing. So far I like the song. I actually saw Billie Eilish play in her first tour. She was playing at the Shrine. So I just got out of my car and I got in for $50 and I was right in the front. Right when she first started, so her fan base was literally like the ages of 9 years old to 15. So there was all these like little kids running around with their parents. I was like, I left kind of early. Like, this is weird. I like the acoustic guitar in this song. Um, the mixing is done very well. The video doesn't really make sense to me very much at all, but the song is not bad. If this is the top 5 songs, I think I'm gonna listen to the top 10 when I go home, or the top 20, see what the rest of the Spotify countdown looks like. Because so far it's not disappointing. I actually enjoyed listening to this. Some new music, fresh artists that I really never heard of. I listen to classic rock mostly. I was just talking to Eddie last night about what I was listening to. I was listening to some random old Jimi Hendrix record that I have. That's the kind of music I listen to. Listen to them. Give them a listen to. They're not terrible. And I like the Spanish one. I think that one was my favorite.
Hey, everybody, by the way, Happy New Year's. I want you all to take a moment and reflect on these last 25 years and think about who you are as a person, what we are as a country, and what it means to be a human being in this ever-expanding universe that we live in that's expanding faster than the speed of light.
But I'd rather be blind in heaven than sighted in hell.
Like cyanide, please don't revive. Let's ruin our lives. Some pills in acid, nails in my casket. That sounds romantic. To just ruin our lives.
2013. What you got for me? Fuck it.
2013. I was still getting high.
Yeah, for sure.
I was pretty high, dude. These years we can kind of skip through like these early 2010s.
Yeah,
because I was pretty stoned.
Yeah,
I was pretty stoned. There wasn't much going on.
No.
I was just working, fucking the coffee shop.
Chi Chang died. Ray Manzarek died. Lou Reed died. Pope Benedict XVI resigned.
Yeah, I want to shout out Lou Reed's Transformer album.
Oh, okay.
Very cool album, Lou Reed, Transformer. It's not from 2013, but shout out Lou Reed.
Yeah, the Lou Reed is awesome. The NSA started collecting people's telephone records. The Planck spacecraft revealed that the universe is 13.82 billion years old. Shout out the universe. The Netherlands.
The universe is cool.
The Netherlands had their first king in 123 years. Walmart was the biggest company on the Fortune 500. Detroit, Michigan filed for bankruptcy, and Tiger Woods was named Player of the Year for the 11th time. 2014.
Wow. Yeah, fuck 2013, man. There wasn't much going on, honestly.
Yeah, I moved back to Pedro that year, and a whole bunch of fucking drama with friends and stuff. Happy by Pharrell Williams in 2014.
Hold on, 2013. All right, let's just go right to 2014. Fuck 2013.
Yeah. Transformers.
It was not an eventful year.
Transformers was the biggest movie in 2014. Age of Extinction with $1.1 billion worldwide. Fucking ridiculous.
Was that the first Transformers movie?
I don't think so. No, I don't know.
The one with Megan Fox where she was looking all good.
No, no, that was early 2000s or like
that was like late 2000s. It might have been like 2010. Hey, Megan Fox has a new movie on Netflix. She has a movie on Netflix right now that just came out. It's called she plays like a robot, like a like a household.
Yeah, like a step.
You've seen like a previous or yeah, like she played, but she's like a robot that will help like the house, but she's all hot because she's Megan Fox.
Her face.
And this guy's like, well, she's very beautiful. She's very attractive, like stereotypically attractive woman, right?
Right.
Like, yeah, lots of plastic surgery, of course. So she makes like a perfect fucking like robot that would like serve the house. And this guy who's like, his wife's recovering from like heart surgery. He like, goes to like, I don't know, the mall or wherever the fuck, and like they're like, yeah, here's the robots, and he like walks up to it, and he's just like checking out, the salesperson's like, yeah, it does this and this and this and this, and he's just staring at it. And I'm watching this movie with my wife.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm sitting on the couch, she's sitting at the table. Like we're both like, and like they're like, yeah, you know, like this robot does this, that, and this and that, and the guy's just staring at it, and I go, but can you fuck it?
Exactly. That's the
first thought. Like, and you know that guy's thinking that. Well, can you fuck it? Can you fuck the robot?
Honestly, it's funny that you say that. When she first came out, and
but he does end up fucking it too.
Oh, nice.
Spoiler. Yeah. I mean, yeah. You know, I'm surprised they made the pussy attachment on it.
So I watched a B fantasy movie the other day where, what was it? Barbarian Queen? I think it was Barbarian Queen. You know, it's just like a hot ass chick on a road of revenge, right? Trying to free her people who were kidnapped by the evil kingdom. At one point, she's being tortured by this like super nerdy, like evil scientist guy. And he's raping her. And she's in like a rack, you know, like spread, like crucified or whatever. And he's like raping her. And she clenches her vagina so tight on his dick that he's like, no, let go.
Wow.
And then she manages to push him into like a vat of acid. It's fucking hilarious.
That's sick, dude. Imagine just a chick who just does Kegels so hard.
Exactly. Yeah, I was watching this like, are they really doing this right now? Like, yeah, Pete Seeger died.
In 2014. Oh, I want to shout out San Francisco Giants complete their dynasty. They win the World Series in 7 games against the Kansas City Royals, winning 3 World Series in a 5-year span.
Nice.
Very cool. Yeah, I remember watching that game at a Mexican restaurant in Pleasanton with my brother, and it was just the two of us. It was Game 7, so it was, you know, in Kansas City, so we're on the road. I remember waking up that morning. I had to go to work early. And the night before, this was right before Halloween too, so it was like the 29th, and I was carving a pumpkin with my sister. She's like, you want to watch Game 6 of the World Series with me? And like maybe the Giants win and we can just like celebrate. And the Giants got their asses fucking smoked, like handed to them in Game 6. Like they were down 10-0, like in the second inning. And I was like, I'm not watching Game 7 with you. You're fucking bad luck. Like, so I'm watching it with my brother, Game 7. They fucking won. I was a nervous wreck, got faded afterwards, and my brother took his tests. He was going to school. He went to school hungover the next day, but it was all worth it. But I remember going to work that morning, taking the bus, and the sun was rising, and I was taking the bus into the east towards Livermore, and I saw the sunrise, and it was orange, and I was like, oh, they're going to win tonight. The fucking orange San Francisco Giants, like, that's how they're going to fucking win, and that was like my sign. It was cool.
Are you one of those sports fans that's like superstitious like that? Like,
I mean, I try not to be, because ultimately at the end of the day, there's nothing that you can do that's ever going to control it. And I tell myself, like, no, like, superstition is not real. There's no sports fucking gods.
Right.
But in the moment, it's like, fuck, like, if I cross my legs, they're going to, you know, like,
it's like
fidgety, like.
It's like OCD.
Yeah, it gets rough, man. It gets rough.
I wanted to make a note of this. One of the notable deaths is actually an artist, was H.R. Geiger. You know who that is. He designed Alien and the spaceship.
Yeah, he's an artist.
Yeah, the biomechanical artist. So he designed... so in the Dead Kennedys album, Frankenchrist, they included a free insert of one of his... paintings or drawings or whatever, called Penis Landscape, which was a bunch of
that was supposed to be the Tool album. No, go on. I'm sorry. Go on.
So the Penis Landscape painting or whatever is a bunch of stretched out penises going into anuses, right? And it's biomechanical.
Yeah.
That was his own style. To anybody listening, if you've ever watched Alien or Predator, you're familiar with H.R. Geiger and his work. That album is what got them sued by the PMRC. And then they got like convicted or whatever, charged with distributing harmful material to minors. And so that was like the beginning of the fall of the Dead Kennedys. Like, obviously there was internal conflict within the band, Jello is a huge
gig when you add lawsuits into it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And they had to go to court for like years and years over it. Frankenchrist is my favorite album of the Dead Kennedys. They're my favorite punk band. But yeah, I just thought that was a notable thing.
I always thought that they were getting a little campy at that point.
What?
Like a little, like, yeah.
Maybe elements.
I thought their first album was, like it was just a little like, it's just trying too hard. Like,
well, it's like their goth album. Like it was very dark. It was much darker material. And
that one did not have Moon Over Marin, did it?
No, that's Plastic Surgery Disasters.
Disasters, yeah. I like that album better.
That's a great album. That's the second one. That's probably their best, honestly. Tommy Ramone died. Wayne Static from Static X died, and Joe Cocker died.
Did we miss Dee Dee Ramone? We did. We skipped over that one. But yeah, Tommy Ramone. The last.
Is Dee Dee not still?
Dude, Dee Dee died. No.
Oh,
Dee Dee died like.
Oh yeah, how come I didn't?
Long time ago. He might have died like in 03, 02, 04, somewhere around like maybe 02, somewhere around there, right around when.
You're right. Yeah.
But Tommy Ramone, the last original Ramone.
That's right.
Damn. Good one. Good inclusion.
So in
2020. What were you doing? Anything different in 2014?
In 2014, my dad died, and I moved back to Pedro. I took over the boat, lost the boat, joined Band Apart, and then was in that band for a year and a half. And I lived.
How were you doing at the end of that year? Were you okay?
I think I was living at Laura's, and I started dating a different girl, and probably living with her too. There's been two times where I didn't date a girl. I just immediately moved in with them. Yeah, but I was in Band Apart, and we were just really heavily focused on playing music and playing shows all the fucking time.
Yeah, that band's still going too.
Are they?
Surprisingly enough. Yeah, I believe so. I think.
I stalk them sometimes. I want to see what's going on. I don't see much.
In the summer of 2014, I hiked with my friend Nick and his girlfriend and somebody else. We hiked the John Muir Trail, which is like a 226-mile trail that goes through the Sierras from Yosemite to Mount Whitney, and you hike through the mountains.
That's fucking insane.
And it takes about a month. It's a long backpacking trail. Yeah, I hiked that.
You did the whole thing.
I didn't make it all the way. I had to get out due to weather conditions at a certain point, but I got many miles, about awesome. 2/3 of the way through. Wow. Yeah, it was fucking sick, man. Time of my life. I told you about that. But for anybody who I haven't told about that, yeah, that one was life-changing. When you're in the mountains you're just hiking on days on end. Yeah, you're having fun with like your friend. And there's other hikers out there. But when you get out of Yosemite, you hike over like a mountain pass. And you're out there for days at a time. And, you're hiking. And you have all these thoughts that have been compartmentalized just due to everyday life, like having to do your thing, that you have the opportunity finally to just let me reach into the back of my mind and unbox this memory from second grade or whenever the fuck and just explore it and see how I feel about it.
That's awesome.
So it was a lot of that. Got real emotional. Just like being out there for a long time and just unboxing shit and just like thinking about it and just thinking about life.
What did you
just being somewhere very beautiful that like, but also yet extremely dangerous. Like, because of just the conditions. Like I hiked at 12,000 feet over a mountain pass and lightning struck, and I was above the tree line, and there's like a fucking storm up above me, and I'm trying to get over the pass and trying to get out. That's terrifying. And there's a fucking storm, and I have like no wet waterproof gear, no pack cover, hiking like in a cut off t-shirt. And I had to it's like dumping, it's hailing. I saw lightning strike like less than half a mile, very clearly fucking hit the ground. And I'm just like, fuck,
really?
dude.
You saw it
like
oh shit.
Yeah, it was intense, man. It was really fucking intense. And I had to like tuck under this bush for a moment. And that was like, there's no trees. You're like on top of a mountain pass. And there was like this bush. I'm like, I need to fucking collect myself. Fucking like, this is fucking real. And just slap myself in the face and fucking get back out there,
man,
and get back fucking like I got some fucking I got a ways to go. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, this is just one moment on this is Bishop Pass. For anyone wondering, Bishop Pass, elevation 12,000 feet. And once I got to the top of the pass, one of the most beautiful places I've ever, and I probably will ever be in my life. The fucking
I do remember
clouds for like a the clouds for like a moment, go away and it's just a beautiful fucking spot. And like there's like a loop trail that goes. It's like I don't know, like a 5-mile loop trail that people will hit for the day, but it's on the other side of the mountain. Mm-hmm. So like other day hikers will hike up over there, but they'll also meet like, the leeward side day hikers. And I remember like this like young dude came up and like, bro, can you take my picture like on this sign, like says Bishop Pass? And he's like, sure. He's like, you smoke weed? Like, yeah, fuck yeah, I smoke weed. And he had like a homemade bong made out of like a fucking one of those honey bears.
Yeah. Classic.
So I remember getting stoned up there. But yeah, that was 2014. Very pivotal year for me.
Yeah.
And I got some PTSD after that one. I remember like not finishing it and just feeling like a failure for not finishing it. And like really like getting out of the mountains and like having like this like grizzled like, oh man, I've seen some shit. And then like very like 2 days later going back to work and just being like, coffee? Okay, here you go. And like still not ready to fucking like go back to society yet.
Bro, that's so important. That's like a rite of passage. That's what like we all had to go through as, the ancient hunter-gatherers that we used to be, just fucking braving the wilderness like that. It's important to experience something like that. I think that's really cool, man.
Totally.
Really brave too.
Thanks, man.
That year I had my biggest psychedelic trip of my entire life. I took acid and mushrooms at the same time
that's what they call that, hippie flipping.
I don't think there is a name for that. Hippie flipping is
there is that one's hippie flipping, and then candy flipping is with ecstasy.
Candy flipping is ecstasy and acid. Maybe it is hippie. I think hippie flipping is mushrooms and ecstasy. I don't think there is a name. It doesn't matter. Anyways, I did that. And
nice. How was it?
At the peak of it, I was watching the rising sun, and there were like Greek columns around the sun, and it felt like my mind was connected to the mind of, it was at a desert party, connected to the minds of everybody else that was tripping, and
wow, just the rays of the sun.
Yeah, and like, we all knew that we were all tripping together at this moment. So like me and like a couple dozen other people were tripping with each other at the same time, people in different camps and stuff. And
that's sick.
At the very peak of it, I saw the entire world roll up like a fruit roll up into a single grain of sand. So everything that was before me rolled up, the earth rolled towards me and then became into a single point in space and time. And it was shining and shimmering and splendid. It was like a whole new world.
What'd you do with it?
I just was amazed. And the word infinitesimal kept running through my mind. The infinitesimal meaning the infinitely small, right? Like the point of before the Big Bang. A point in time and space that is so fucking small that it's imperceptible. And it did that for like 10 minutes. It kept rolling in and rolling out, rolling in and rolling out. And I realized that their like personality is all make believe. It's just like a plaything that we do to appease our ego, and ego is just like a tool that we use to navigate the world. The true consciousness that we experience is like a beautiful nothingness, like the emptiness that is full. You know what I mean? So like very Eastern philosophy or whatever, and just like it was just like bizarre and
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. You know, it's the most beautiful thing of the next year in 2015.
What happened?
Bruno Mars came out with Uptown Funk.
That was number one. Yeah, it was Mark Ronson featuring Bruno Mars.
Hey, Uptown Funk gonna funk you up.
For the longest time, I thought that was a song from the 70s. I kid you not.
Also beautiful.
Yeah. The 70s?
Such a smash hit.
It's a good song.
Bruno Mars. Hey, Bruno Mars stays putting out hits. You know, it's because he owes hella money to fucking the casinos. He's like in like millions of dollars in debt. Did you know this?
No.
Yeah, Bruno Mars, he has like a residency in Vegas, but he's just like your typical, if he's half Filipino.
Oh, I could see that.
The Filipinos love to gamble. And this dude's a gambler, and he owes he's super in debt to the casinos. So he's basically just pushing out hit singles and songs and residency because he just owes hella money.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. I kind of like that about him. He's just like, I'm pulling up the Elvis fucking late shitty stage of my career. So,
sure.
But hey, he's got song out today. That's pretty cool that I like. 2015.
Yeah. BB
I want to
King
shout
died.
out
Scott Weiland died.
Yeah, Scott Weiland. I want to shout out Star Wars came back to the theaters. The Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big deal.
$2 billion worldwide.
I was super hyped, and then I saw it, and I fucking loved it. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, that wasn't even that good.
No,
when it first came out, I was just like, it was so great. And then I thought about it, I'm like, it wasn't that great.
They're very bad.
But in my initial reaction to the first one was fucking loved it. And then but that was leaving the theater,
Yeah.
Because I wanted new content, new Star Wars,
Of course.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I love Star Wars.
Yeah, it's cool. It's fresh. 2015, I was still fucking just getting high, getting drunk, and
Yeah. This was
you know what? 2015 was the first time. I'm sorry, Mom. This is the first time I did meth. Was in 2015. my friend Johnny.
That's the first time I did heroin. Actually, one and only time.
Was in 2015.
One and only time that I did.
You shoot it or you smoke it?
No, I free-based it all day for one day. It was fun.
Yeah, I wasn't doing much. I wasn't fucking. It was awesome. I don't like downers. Not a downer fan. I was an upper fan.
Wouldn't
But
call it a downer,
my friend Johnny.
That shit was fucking happy. It's like the happiest.
I didn't. He would be like, "Hey, you want to do some coke?" And I'd be like, oh, "This burns." And he's like, "Yeah, it's a little."
Oh, that's
actually,
how you know it's not.
Actually,
yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, okay. And but I was feeling fucking great.
He lied to
listening
you?
to music. And, yeah.
Fucking asshole, dude. Not cool. He did.
It was my friend. He was gay. I'm not gay. And looking back on it, I was young, naive, and ignorant, and he was probably preying on me. But I let him know. Nothing ever happened. But I let him know. I'm like, listen, dude, it ain't gonna fucking happen.
Yeah. Oh.
But I like doing drugs. And if you want to hang out, you're fun. You're pretty punk rock in the mentality aspect of it. So we can kick it.
I'm gonna get this guy so high on meth that I'm gonna fuck him in the butt.
Maybe could have been his thought. He wishes, but I just like doing drugs, and doing that, and eventually, kind of realizing, man, I'm doing this too much. I'm fucking up in life. I was either gonna transfer to school or continue to work at my job and just keep doing drugs. But actually, no, that's 2016. That was more when I was getting into cocaine a lot. 2015.
This was the height of Band Apart. We got signed to a huge fucking record label. That was a start of a lot of momentum for us. I think we played at the Smell that year, which is obviously pretty big for, small little fucking band from San Pedro. If you're in the Los Angeles punk scene, playing at the Smell is kind of a big deal. You have to be invited to play there and shit. And that whole set is on YouTube. You can go watch it right now. Band Apart with an E at the end for some reason. Pretty good set. We started covering Transmission by Joy Division, which I have to say, we fucking ruled covering that song. I made it more hardcore and more punk and fucking more wild and psychedelic sounding. I loved playing Transmission by Joy Division.
Tight.
Yeah, and then I was in and then out of a really deep relationship and then living back at Laura's and just trying to drink myself to death, I think. Bernie Sanders.
What was going on? What was going on in culture? 2015.
Bernie Sanders announced that he was going to run for president. That didn't work out. It was the 800th anniversary of the Magna Carta.
Cool, go Magna Carta. What is the Magna Carta?
It's the medieval English historic legal document, often seen as the origin of many modern-day legal rights and constitutional principles. Donald Trump announced that he was going to run for president. Queen Elizabeth became Great Britain's longest reigning monarch. China abolished its one-child policy, and the Federal Reserve did some bullshit. I don't even understand what it says. 2/3 of Americans own their own home. The median income was $57,000, and NASA scientists confirmed that liquid water existed on Mars.
Cool. Isn't that around the time that movie The Martian came out with Matt Damon?
I don't know. Maybe. Didn't that movie suck?
Oh, it was all right. That's cool.
I don't remember it.
2015. Nothing spectacular.
Nothing spectacular.
Who wins the World Series that year? The fucking no one fucking cares. The Kansas City Royals. Moving on. 2016.
Captain America: Civil War. 1.1 billion. David Bowie.
What were you doing?
2016 in February, I left Band Apart and I left San Pedro, and I took the Greyhound from Long Beach, California to Brainerd, Minnesota, and I began an entirely different life that has led to my life now.
Who'd you meet there?
A woman and a hippie, and I impregnated her. Found out at 4 months in that she was pregnant, and then dedicated the rest of my life to that.
Still doing it now. Good job, Dad.
Thanks, man. I was working at a large-scale commercial greenhouse, building greenhouses around Minnesota and North Dakota. Also working at gun shows with my ex's family. I can literally train you in basic gun safety if you need it. $10 a pop. My ex would have been my father-in-law if we had ever gotten married. God rest his soul. J.C. Johnson was a renowned cryptid researcher specializing in Bigfoot, and he would tell me the craziest stories about, references from the Bible about angels, fallen angels coming down to earth and creating like demons and monsters by mating with humans, right? That's like a part of the Bible or whatever.
He believed this?
With all his heart, yeah. He was a great man. He was a wonderful man. He was the only person ever to call me Bubba. And that's when he did that, I was like, oh, this guy loves me. Like, I just asked him a question.
I think it's kind of like a Midwest thing. I have a friend named Bryce who would call a lot of people Bubba, and he's from Idaho.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, Idaho's not the Midwest. Is it? No, because it's right next to Oregon.
No, it's
I guess
it's right next
it
to
would
Oregon.
Still be considered the Midwest, I guess. But yeah.
Close enough to North Dakota.
I just remember asking him a question, and he was like, well, Bubba, we just don't know. And I was just like my heart filled. I was like, oh, this man.
I like being called Bubba.
Yeah, that was the first thing that we called my son, and he always referred to himself as Bubba. David Bowie died. George Martin, Merle Haggard, Prince, Leonard Cohen, George Michael, Debbie Reynolds all died that year. And Donald Trump got elected president. The Panama Papers were released.
Yeah, that was pretty whack.
Yes. Nothing.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Yeah.
Nothing cool came of that.
No, I mean,
2016, I moved from Pleasanton back to Sacramento. I was doing too much cocaine. I was doing cocaine at fucking work at the coffee shop.
Damn.
And it was just all bad. So I'm like, I need to fucking get away. I left my apartment that I lived in for 10 years.
You never
really like that
struck
place.
me as like a too much drugs guy.
Well, it isn't until it is, right?
Right. Yeah.
You know,
sort of takes over
when you're stealing money from work to buy cocaine.
Classic.
And then doing that cocaine at work. It's like it ain't. When you're getting your paycheck and your paycheck just goes to covering fucking your overdraft to pay that you overdrafted to pay for cocaine. Damn. And you're still broke, it's like fuck.
Yeah, that's right.
But I will say this, in the year 2016 I met my wife, which is very cool. I met her at a wake of our mutual friend of ours in November of 2016. Yeah. And she was there. I didn't really talk to her there. I didn't know her. It was a wake, so it was a celebration of life. And then Christmas Eve, a good moment for me. Christmas Eve, hanging out at my friend Christina's old place in Oakland, partying with my friend Bob. The last three people that were awake were me, my friend Bob, and my now wife. And we were just getting shitty. My wife, she left. And it was just me and Bob, and I'm like, well, we got to crash. It's Christmas Eve. Like, we're too drunk to drive. Like, I was driving my van. It was a big yellow former DHL van. So it was just like a big work van. It was empty. And we knew we were going to crash in the van.
Yeah.
Like, sleep in the van. And my friend Bob had brought like a bunch of pillows and blankets. So we just like, it was cold as fuck.
Yeah.
And we got, drunk and just fucking slept. And we woke up like Christmas morning, like 7 a.m. It's cold. We're like kind of like right next to each other for body warmth. And like we both wake up and look at each other. And we're like, Merry Christmas, bro.
Adorable.
Yeah, that was a good way to end 2016. Just like, let's get out of here. Let's get out of Oakland.
Yeah.
Fuck that year, though. It wasn't great.
Bottled water surpassed carbonated soft drinks in sales for the first time. More than 50 openly LGBTQ athletes competed in the 2016 Rio Olympics, with 25 of them winning medals. The Pokemonaissance happened, and Hamilton won a Grammy, 11 Tonys, and the Pulitzer for drama.
We tried watching Hamilton when it came out on Disney Plus. Like it was like Hamilton. Everybody fucking loved it. It was like all the rage for a few years. Remember, like, oh, Hamilton's so cool. It's like then we tried like watch it, and it came out on Disney Plus. It was like the stage show on TV, right. Mm-hmm. And I think we got like 20 seconds into the first song, and my wife and I just go, "This is fucking stupid." Like, people like this is dumb as fuck. I'm out. Like, no thanks.
Yeah, the horrible rapping. It was so stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't. I was like, I'm not watching this. Fuck this shit. It's trash. Sure. 2017.
2017. Yeah. So we were already back in Phoenix at this time, living in a fucking horrible fucking neighborhood. Shape of You by Ed Sheeran was number one. Star Wars: The Last Jedi, $1.3 billion.
Trash ass movie, but
the keyboard
you needed to complete it.
Such a horrible movie. The keyboardist from Black Sabbath died. Chuck Berry died. Cuba Gooding Sr., Chris Cornell, Greg Allman.
Chris Cornell, R.I.P. Let's go back to him. He was a fucking great singer. Really go listen to. I want to shout out that song that he did with Pearl Jam, or the singer. It's was it? And I'm hungry.
Is that Temple of the Dog?
Yeah, Temple of the Dog. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that track fucking slaps.
The rapper Prodigy died. Chester Bennington, from Linkin Park.
Weakest OD. Here's my hot take. Weakest OD in rock and roll history. Xanax and Coronas. Chester Bennington.
Oh, I thought I thought he was also hanged, or that was Cornell. Didn't Anthony Bourdain die the same year?
Chester Bennington death.
Did you say Xanax and codeine?
Suicide by hanging due to depression, but yeah, you know where he died? Palos Verdes Estates.
That's right. I think I knew that. Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't an OD, but he wanted to get like fucked up before he died, so he drank Coronas and had Xanax. It's pretty weak.
Oh, that is pretty weak. Have you ever taken Xanax?
Yeah. All the time, dude. My wife used to have a prescription for him. Fucking hella times.
I've only taken it twice.
Yeah, but it just makes you tired and just kind of like, hey, I'm chill.
Bro, the first time I took it, I didn't know that you weren't supposed to eat the entire fucking 4-tiered pill. So I swallowed the whole thing.
The bar. I got picked up by my dad.
Within 30 minutes of me taking it, went to sleep immediately, slept for like 8 hours solid.
A day.
And had fucking the worst lucid nightmare of my entire fucking life.
Oh, damn, that's scary.
Yeah, where I was in my grandma's garage in Cerritos, like a childhood home for me, and it was just everyone that I've ever known coming in and out of the garage telling me what a bad person I was for 8 fucking hours, and I was aware that I was dreaming.
We could do that again if you want, because you still probably deserve it.
No,
to some extent.
I do it to myself every single day. It's okay. I don't need drugs.
You look at yourself in the mirror before you get ready for the day. You suck. 2017, Chester Bennington, Xanax.
Tom Petty.
I went to Cambodia. Tom Petty. Yeah, that's a shitty one. That's another accidental OD. I think maybe fentanyl.
That's what it says.
I went to Cambodia for the month.
You went to Angkor Wat?
I went to Angkor Wat. I went to traveled the country of Cambodia with my uncle and his now wife, girlfriend at the time. We traveled Cambodia for a month.
Nice.
It was amazing. Went to Angkor Wat.
Dude,
stayed on the beach.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was sick, dude. Yeah, it was fucking sick. Spent my 30th No, we stayed at like hotels, dude. They were fucking super cheap. It's Cambodia, dude. Like, it was cheap as fuck.
Sure.
I had $1,000. It lasted me a month.
Damn, that's nice.
And yeah, it was great. I spent my 30th birthday out there. On my 30th birthday, we went like on a boat, kind of island hopping. Like we were at this beach town, and what was the name of it? Skipping my mind at the moment, but it was like it's kind of like a touristy town, and we had like a German couple, a French couple. We had people who like knew multiple languages. All like there was like probably like 12 of us, and it was like a boat. We went snorkeling, we had lunch, and then we go back to the main drag. Right, it was like a whole like full day affair. But everybody sang "Happy Birthday" to me in like 5 different languages. It was really cool. I was like super just. Like, but you know, I didn't want to make it all about me. But they're like, "No, it's your birthday, man. You're 30. That's a big deal."
That's dope.
So yeah, that was cool.
That's awesome. That's beautiful.
And my now wife and I got together. We made official on June 3rd, 2017. That was our when I asked her out. I went to a wrestling show that night in Oakland, Hood Slam, and I got stoned and drunk before I went in, and I like fainted, and I remember like I knew I was about to faint because I've fainted many times in my life.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going along the back wall. Like, where's a seat? I know there's like a bench around here because everything's kind of like trickling and kind of fading to black.
Feeling, yeah.
And the next thing I know, my face fucking hurts, dude. My fucking nose, my teeth.
Damn.
And I'm getting Jesus walked out of there, you know, like my arm on like 2 different people. They bring me to, I'm like, oh fuck, I fainted, didn't I? And I smashed my face. They're like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, actually I'm fine. Like, they're like, do you know where you are? I'm like, yes, I know where I am. You can go through my phone. I went with this person. They're like, you're fine. Your face is kind of fucked up. Do you want to go back in the show? And I'm like, good, man. My wife got me like an Uber back to her place. And I had like my face is all fucked up. And I'm like, you want to be my girlfriend? She's like, all right.
I guess.
And then we moved in with each other to into our place in Hayward, where we still currently live in November of 2017. So we've been here 7 years.
How long did you guys date before you moved in together?
Started like official, boyfriend, girlfriend, June to November, so 5 months. But we were dating from like February, like March. April,
sure,
until we moved in.
Still pretty quick,
yeah.
But nothing wrong with that.
But you know, when you're you're 30, you start. Life moves fast, and you just gotta fucking roll with the punches.
Yeah, for sure. Good life advice right there. See,
but
people,
2017 for me, really cool.
My son was
really cool.
My son was born that year. He has the same birthday as Mozart and Lewis Carroll. And he was
very cool.
He was born the same day that Donald Trump signed an executive order restricting travel and immigration from Iraq, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen. Same.
Gross.
Yeah. So you got that to live up to, boy. Healthcare.
2018, shall we?
Yeah, the first total solar eclipse in 99 years for America.
Tight.
Did you watch that? I watched some of it through a welding class.
Oh, is that the one Trump looked directly at?
Yes, it was. Yeah,
I do. I think it was at work. I think it was at work during the day, and he's just like, everyone's got like their fucking thing, and he's just like,
how crazy it that there's a first lady that you can look up the nude pictures for, Melania.
I mean, it's just a fucking joke, dude.
It is such a joke. I know.
it's just all a joke.
Okay, 2018, again, Avengers, Infinity War, $2 billion worldwide. God's Plan by Drake was number 1. I don't know what that is.
2018 or 2017?
2018.
2018, okay.
The singers for the Cranberries died. XXX Tentacion died, and Vinnie Paul, and Aretha Franklin, and Matt
XXX, what was his name?
XXX.
That was a big deal.
Tentacion?
Yeah, that was a big deal for like that genre of music.
Shot to death during a robbery when he was 20 years old.
Yeah, apparently he had like a big impact on like that genre and that generation. Too young for me. I was like, 32, and I was just like, I don't know who that is.
For sure.
But you know, at that point when you're in your early 30s, you're kind of phasing out of what's cool unless you really have your finger on the pulse.
Yeah, and fuck that. Vinnie Paul, the drummer from Pantera, died. So both, you know, Vinnie Paul and
brother.
but yeah, so they're dead. Aretha Franklin died of pancreatic cancer, and Mac Miller died of a drug overdose.
Mac Miller, that's a real one. That's a tragedy because he was fantastic.
Here's something
I think he would have been doing great things
that I thought was interesting. So, you know, in politics, the whole immigrant children being put into camps and like separated from their families was the thing, which I think was something that became a thing during Obama. Trump apparently ended that policy by executive order in June. I'm not giving praise to Trump in any way. It's just like, I didn't know.
He also separated like the families.
It said that he stopped that policy by executive order. So I don't know. Also, charges were brought against 12 Russian intelligence officers for cyber attacks against Democratic officials. Meghan Markle joined the British royal family. Harvey Weinstein turned himself in. The Miss America pageant stopped its swimsuit competition. A lot of mass shootings. And the most destructive fire season ever for California. How did that affect you? Because it said it's northern and southern parts in 2018.
Yeah, the fires
with those horrible like clips of people going down the highway, just both sides are fucking.
I think that's when the town of what was the town that burned down? Paradise.
I have to pee so bad.
Yeah, me too. So let's take a little break.
Okay,
real quick.
Okay, so a couple weeks ago, I had to bail on Slavka and Selena because I was so fucking tired, so fatigued from being a single parent. I was like, I'm really sorry. I'm too fatigued to think. I can't do this. The next day, my friend, I won't say his name, he called me out of nowhere, and he's been wanting to do the podcast. And I was like, well, let's just do one tonight or whatever. So we got together and eventually, and we did like 2 hours or something and had really great conversation about like religion and psychology and psychiatry and just what it means to be a human. And it was the only time that I've been able to speak about like religion and spirituality on this podcast in depth. And you know me, those are things that are very important to me. I've studied those things. And he asked me to scrap the episode because he was too drunk. He felt that he was too drunk and that he was just embarrassed, I guess. So I haven't put it out. I'm not going to delete it because I think there were a lot of really gold moments and maybe, I don't know, but
maybe they could change their mind in the future, perhaps, or maybe. Just something to.
It just kind of ended with him being like unnecessarily like angry at me and.
During the recording or in the please don't post this? During the
recording. No, afterwards he was totally fine. Like, you know, there's no hard feelings either way. It was just like when we're talking about like the retooling of this podcast, like I don't only want to be like a goofy asshole who says offensive things to get a rise out of people. I would also like to talk about like things that are important, you know. The only things that I have ever cared about are music, literature, poetry, psychedelics, spirituality. You know what I mean? And those are hard things to bring up in a comedy setting. Unless you're an expert.
Yeah.
Unless you're a fucking really great fucking comedian like Bill Hicks, or especially Bill Hicks, I would say.
And let's face it, we're not exactly. I've never done stand up. I'm not a comedian. I might have my moments here and there. But
yeah, no, stand-up is a very, very difficult art form, and I respect it a lot. It's also a very lowbrow art form, and I don't necessarily always want to be lowbrow. Like, do I really want to get on stage to make a bunch of drunk, dumb cunts laugh? I don't know if I want to do that. At the same time, do I want to get up on stage as a poet and say things that are going to offend this woke fucking crowd? Because I don't think the way other poets do. You know what I mean? Like most poetry fucking sucks. That's why it's so easy for me to do it. Because I'm just honest and I don't flower up the fucking language. You know, I'm very much so informed by Charles Bukowski, John Steinbeck, Kurt Vonnegut. Bukowski obviously being the only like 100% dedicated poet there, but those other guys were poetic in their own ways. So it's like, what do I want to put out into this world? I don't really want to go on stage and like have people be fucking pissed at me in person. I hate that. I hate conflict.
Yeah. Right.
Like, and I don't fit in anywhere into any fucking scene anywhere that I go. But I do feel like I have something to say. But as the world has changed over the years, and especially with social media becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, I felt that my opinion and ideas have mattered less and less and less. And now it's like this like
when everybody has a platform for their opinions.
Yes, and like you know, now that I've been like taking this role as content creator or whatever, like I'm getting suggested more and more content creator shit or whatever. And so like, what's the most watched shit on Instagram or YouTube or any of the platforms is chicks with big tits and big asses just being half naked. Yeah. I've literally seen a fucking clip. All this chick did was push in a chair to a table and then walk around the table. And it's like 50,000 fucking likes for doing nothing. You know,
I do that all the time. I'm pushing my chair all the time, man.
No one gives me any props for that.
I've been eating a lot of cookies. My butt's getting bigger too. So,
I don't know. I haven't tried looking up like any like poets on Instagram or anything, but
how does that relate to what you want to continue to push out there with Let's Ruin Our Lives?
Well, it's just like I want to talk to rabbis and nuns and priests, and I want to talk to like people with schizophrenia, and I want to talk to just people from all walks of life, and not stick to just only trying to promote like underground art or whatever. Like I want to talk to everybody, you know what I mean? And I don't want anything to be coming from a certain angle. I want to learn, and I really love talking to people about spirituality and stuff.
Yeah. You don't have to box yourself in. And if you feel like that's what you've been doing with previous episodes of the podcast, it's great that you've acknowledged that and are ready to move forward in a new direction that you want to do that's more real for you.
Yeah.
You can still make dick jokes.
Oh, of course. I'm never going to stop. You know what I mean? I just want to be more natural about things. Yeah. Like I would love to speak to open mic comedians. I would also love to just talk to people who have unique perspectives on life. People who can actually like hold a conversation. It's very hard to find people who can hold a fucking conversation, you know, for hours on end. If they're not
speaking of which,
a close friend. Or
my wife's getting pissed off, so we got some years to wrap up.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Again, Avengers Endgame, $2.7 billion. Old Town.
Black Panther 2018.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shout out Black Panther. That was huge.
I found it to be underwhelming.
And then
I didn't believe the as the bad guy. Was it Michael B. Jordan? I felt he was the wrong person for that role. Was that his name?
I thought he was really good, but I could see what you're talking about. Yeah, as a or Killmonger.
Yeah. He just didn't strike me as menacing. And not a very good actor. Dick Dale died. Nipsey Hussle died. Doris Day. Dr.
I saw Dick Dale. He was fun.
Nice.
You know, the cool thing about Dick Dale, like he's left-handed, and he plays the guitar like Jimi Hendrix, where he would,
I didn't know.
like where he Jimi Hendrix also left-handed, but Dick Dale would.
He restrung
he restrung it. I think Jimi Hendrix just like flipped the guitar over and like played all the chords like up.
No, I believe Richie Havens did that, but Jimi Hendrix, he restrung it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe then in that case, I believe it was Dick Dale who did not restring it. And
I think that's right, actually.
He played all the chords like upside down, backwards, etc.
Right. Maybe.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Does that make sense with him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Jimmy, he would put his thumb over the fucking top of the fretboard. And so
yeah, and that's very. So when he would play the blues, like it's like you want to mute that E string, right?
So he's playing lead and rhythm at the same exact time. His hands were so huge that they just dominated the fucking Stratocaster fretboard. It's like
crazy.
Next time, look at Jimmy live. It's fucking insane.
Hey Henry, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing over there?
Notre Dame burned. Negligence was presented as a possible cause that destroyed the spire and
continue on without me for a moment, but can go on.
So what year is this? This is 2019, people. Notre Dame burned. Negligence was presented as a possible cause of the fire that destroyed the spire and roof of the medieval Gothic cathedral in Paris. A huge tourist attraction, historical centerpiece in the setting of Victor Hugo's 1831 Hunchback of Notre Dame. Billie Eilish became insanely famous for no reason, and Hong Kong protests turned to widespread riots and civil disobedience. Going into 2020, there's a guinea pig. What's up, piggy? What's up, pig? What's going on? It's so cute. It's Calico.
He's a little wet. I feel like he's peed himself.
Oh, that's not good.
I know, poor guy.
He's Calico. It looks pretty cool. So we're in 2020 now. Kenny Rogers died. The highest grossing movie in 2020. We're on 2020.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we don't need 2019. Not much really happened except for Notre Dame burned down. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was whatever.
Yeah,
2019. I was working at the weed. Yeah, fuck that year. Not important.
I was in Oregon, and that was the year that I took my son away from his mother for the better and moved back to Arizona, and we've been here ever since. In 2020,
anything else important happened in 2019?
2019, there was a rally.
I remember rumblings of COVID in like December.
At the very end, Brexit happened. The Great Britain.
Where I worked at in late 2019 was this cannabis like manufacturing company. We made like pens and stuff, like carts and other stuff. And I worked. There was this Chinese dude who worked. Older guy. He was real nice, and he was an engineer, and he had like connection out in Wuhan, China, that produced like machinery, like a labeling machine. It was like a conveyor belt that had like this like printer, like it would label shit, and like you just like feed shit through it and it would label things like with like a date, timestamp, and you'd set like up on the little computer screen. Let me put the fucking info. But I remember like this was like in the early news before we were on lockdown, like late December of 2019, before
anybody knew anything about it.
But there was like Wuhan was like in the news at this time. Might have been January of might have been early 2020.
Yeah.
But like since we're in 2020, I think it might have actually been like January or February.
Right.
He's just like, hey, by the way, you seen in the news like this thing called like COVID. It's in Wuhan. Yeah. This came from Wuhan, so make sure you sanitize everything very well. And I'm like, are you gonna fucking kill me by fucking doing this job right now? Like,
that's crazy.
I had to take this like big fucking box. It came like in this giant metal, like wooden crate that looked like fucking Nosferatu's fucking crypt, and I had to like break it open.
Fucking gizmos in there.
Dude, I felt like it was like scene in The Simpsons where it's just like, hey, don't tell the manager I'm sick. and they open the box, and it's just like germs.
Start shooting at it.
Yeah. So like I open, I'm like, this is from fucking Wuhan? Okay, I guess I'll clean everything real good. Crack.
Damn.
2020. I mean, how can we talk about it without COVID, right?
Yeah, that was the end of the fucking world. Fucking.
I kept having to work. So I mean, I just kept going to fucking work, dude. Taking the BART every day, going to West Oakland. Yeah, nothing changed. In fact.
Really?
Yeah, other than because I didn't have a car at the time, and life just kind of went on for me.
Huh.
That's how it affected me.
My job forced us all to go remote.
What was your job at the time?
I was working for Sunrun, the nation's largest retail solar panel provider. Working in a very fancy office in Scottsdale, and I loved it. It's the best job I've ever had. At this point, it had gotten a little too commercial. It was the second time I had worked for them. But a great fucking job. I was doing sales support. So I was a glorified telemarketer doing warm leads. And it was, you know, hourly wage plus commission. So you had the option, the ability to make a lot of fucking money at this job. And I was really good at it. And then if you remember, the last normal working day of that year was March 13th, Friday the 13th, 2020. And then they sent us all home. They sent computers to our homes. And then we had to work remote from there on out. And I hate working from home. It makes me fucking lazy. It sucks. I love having a place to go to. And I loved riding my bike there. And working in a fancy fucking office with beautiful women and awesome black people. And
hell yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying they're the best at a fucking a call center job. I've worked at a lot of call centers. Actually, I have a joke about it. I won't do it right now, but
let's speed this. Let's speed this up.
Yeah. Kenny Rogers died.
Per Ray Lynn. Yeah, Kenny Rogers. Islands in the Sky. Or duet with Dolly Parton. Really good.
Bill Withers, Little Richard, Eddie Van Halen, and the most notable death of that year is MF Doom. Do you remember how MF Doom punked the world with his death? So, to fast forward to the end of this year, Biden defeated Trump, right? Near the end of the year, right? And then I just remember being in the internet, and you could feel like this surge, like, yes, like good won over evil. Not that I'm saying that that's what is actually taking place, but you could feel in the world that like, oh, things are actually, they might get better now. They might get better. And then New Year's Eve, MF Doom's family revealed that Doom had died months ago on Halloween, on New Year's Eve. And I just remember seeing a surge of people on the internet being like, what the fuck? The masked,
like they just did.
The supervillain, the man who would send imposters to perform at his own concerts, a man who called himself the supervillain, punked the entire fucking world by dying. And I just felt like a psychic energy go out of the hope in the world. Like, I don't know, that's what it felt like to me. Like, god damn it.
Can you give me just a moment?
Yeah. All right. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris win the presidency and vice presidency, respectively. Australia went into a state of emergency because of their wild bushfires, killing as many as 500 million animals. Donald Trump got impeached. George Floyd got killed for no reason.
Hey, at the end of 2020, there was George Floyd, big fucking deal.
Huge. Yeah.
I couldn't call my friend David the N-word anymore, which would sucked.
Right. So not fair.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just ruined everything for the white man. No, I'm kidding.
No, we grew up in the hood. We all grew up saying that word. I'm not saying that I want to say it. I'm just saying that we all fucking say
it. We didn't. I didn't. I didn't say that word.
Not with an R. Or maybe you didn't say it, but me and my Mexican friends, we all said it to each other as a term of endearment. And it's fine. I don't have to say it.
There was the fires. I mean, we were talking about how wildlife fires earlier had affected us.
Yeah.
I had a trip with a bunch of friends planned for Lake Tahoe in the fall, and that got canceled because of all the fires and COVID. But there was a day like in Northern California. There's a lot of pictures of it online. It was crazy. The sky was orange all day. There was so much wildfires and smoke. And at 10 a.m., it was still dark, and the sky was literally orange.
Jesus.
Like nothing I'd ever seen before. It looked like apocalyptic shit.
Yeah.
Like
horrifying.
It was crazy. Like it was like a red sky, orange all day. All day, no sunlight got through. Completely insane. Damn. I'll remember 2020, and I'll remember like being like in the warehouse in West Oakland and looking outside. There's no sunlight coming in through the little fucking window. And then when I do go outside for my break, smoke a cigarette and just like, what the fuck? Where's the sunlight? Where's the sky? It's just orange. Crazy.
I miss
2021?
I miss California a lot, but goddamn, that state is filled with just horrors of all kinds.
It's always interesting.
The COVID lockdowns. Kobe Bryant died on the same day as my son's 3rd birthday party.
2020. Yeah, he died right before Kobe. Right before COVID. That was a sad day. Kobe Bryant dying. I'll never forget. I had my friend Nick slept over at my place, and I'm a huge Kobe fan.
Mm-hmm.
I heard the news, like, and then like the energy shifted, and I'm like, Nick, I think you should probably leave. I think you should probably go home.
Really?
He's like,
Kobe died, bro.
He's like, I get it.
You got to get out of here.
Yeah, it was a big fucking deal for me. I fucking cried in the shower and went about my day just totally numb. And I was just like, man, this fucking sucks. This is like my dad losing John Lennon.
Oh, okay.
Different,
That's
but
pretty different.
what they mean to you.
Well, one was a wife beater and the other was a rapist. Tiger King and The Last Dance Michael Jordan documentary.
True, yeah. Good. That was big stuff in 2020.
Did you see the
Tiger King? Yeah.
I didn't watch Tiger King. I would. I don't know why I didn't. It looks entertaining, but also disturbing. And The Last Dance.
You
kind of fun.
you missed it. If you didn't live it in the moment, it's gone, baby.
I can see that. I like the idea of a gay man turning straight men gay with meth. That's pretty funny.
We already talked about that. That was 2015. You can rewind the pod.
That was back in the day. Okay, 2021 number 1 hit song, Levitating by Dua Lipa, Albanian. Pretty hot.
She's fine.
Spider-Man No Way Home, $1.9 billion.
January 6th.
January 6th, that's right. Why isn't... Oh, because I put that afterwards.
January 6th.
DMX died. Phil Spector died.
January 6th. Trump not having the balls to just concede the election and just letting this country fall to a coup.
Also not having the balls by directly inciting the riot. He had to do it in a passive-aggressive way. Like a true dictator.
Yeah, true.
A true God King would be like, go fucking kill. But he was just like, don't he's a fucking pussy. I hate Donald Trump.
That's kind of like all MAGA in general. Just very just like, well, yeah. Why don't you just do your own research? Like, okay.
Yeah, it's pussy shit for sure. DMX died. Phil Spector, Biz Markie, Joey Jordison, the best metal drummer of all time from Slipknot. The drummer from Rolling Stones died, and Lee Scratch Perry, the reggae artist, died. Who I think I saw perform.
I saw Lee Scratch.
Me too.
I saw Lee Scratch Perry also.
Yeah, I saw him.
It was not great.
It was not.
It wasn't great. I thought it would be a band. And it was just him and a DJ.
I think there were elements of that. Yeah, now that I think about it, it was at the Santa Monica Pier in like 2014, for free.
I think I saw him in like 2016 for free.
Yeah,
he's just old and looked like fucking.
I think he's an anti-Semite.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Became the first outgoing president to boycott his successor's inauguration since Andrew Johnson in 1869. The trial of Derek Chauvin, which he lost. And I believe he got stabbed a bunch in prison, which he clearly deserves. Here's an interesting one. Do you know the actor Armie Hammer?
No.
He was in random things. I don't know. He's my age. But in leaked DMs between Armie Hammer and an unidentified woman showed him saying he wanted to drink her blood and admitted to being 100% a cannibal. And other women soon came forward with similar claims about his penchant for rape fantasies and dark sexual preferences. So this guy was DMing women saying that he wants to eat them and drink their blood and shit. And he was like a popular actor for a little while.
I mean, is there anything really wrong with that other than like that's just his thing? Like, I think what's wrong with that is people just leaking his shit, just making him look like a freak.
Oh,
like
interesting. Like with Louis C.K. Like, what's wrong with asking a woman if you can jack off in front of her? We've all done it.
Yeah, but like, if they're consenting to like, can I drink your blood? Like,
right?
Why not? You know, why not? That's the thing. But then you gotta go make him look fucking terrible. Like, there's probably like a whole niche group of people
That's
who
actually a
are
good
into
point.
that. You know what?
There are.
You know what I
There are
mean?
people
Like,
who consider themselves to be vampires and they drink each other's blood, and there are people with rape fantasies. Like, so we're not supposed to.
yeah, that's
You're not
that's a
supposed
thing.
to,
Yeah,
you
totally.
can't kink shame, right? That's like a part of the whole.
Yeah, it's kink shaming.
Right,
It's kink shaming, and what sounds like he was a victim of that. Do I like those particular kinks? Doesn't matter what I think.
Right.
But I don't think he should have been fucking thrown under the bus because of what he's into.
Now, see, that's the type of thinking I like, Eric.
Thanks. Cool.
Turn the other cheek is what I say. After an ugly 13-year
And then spread it.
turn the other cheek and then spread both of them. Britney Spears was freed from her legal conservatorship. Dave Chappelle faced backlash after his Netflix special because of the trans jokes. And Astro World happened, where 10 people
are we in
died.
2022? This is 2021, right?
This is 2021, yeah.
Yeah, that was when the Astro World, that was when what's his face?
Travis
Scott
Mm-hmm.
played, and there was just a massive horde of people that fucking fell, and people got crushed to death.
10 people died,
too many people,
and hundreds of people were injured.
Imagine seeing that, like, as you're performing and not being like, hey, stop, like, and then you're just like on a platform, just like, I'm just gonna continue doing my
he looked
stupid song.
Really fucked up, and I doubt he could see what was going on. I mean, it was like, what, 50,000 people? How many thousands of people were there? How much could he really see what was going on? You know what I mean? So I don't really.
Yeah, I mean, is it a promoted thing?
Although
is it
I believe
thing? I mean, him being a piece of trash doesn't really help.
I believe I saw the police commissioner had warned them of safety issues, like that this isn't going to work out or whatever. But honestly, I kind of blame the younger generation or actually, I blame the older generation for not teaching the younger generation fucking concert etiquette. If somebody falls, you fucking stop everything and everybody around you and you pick them up.
While that is
they don't know that
a thing, you ever been like, you know, like when you're in a pit and like people just fall and there's just so much pressure and like, like multiple people fall, it's just a wave of people falling. You can't get up.
Yeah.
Like when a bunch of people fall. And that's kind of what happened too.
Yeah.
Like people just fell and you can't get up. You can't help somebody up. You want to, but you can't fucking do it. There was a victim of that. And
They're all rushing towards the fucking stage. They're not considering anybody around them. It seemed like to me.
Yeah, and Travis Scott had a history of kind of just being like, "Fuck you, let's mosh, like get in the fucking pit." And while like that's cool, like you still have to have some fucking etiquette. But it was like a wild style that doesn't make him look very good when it was all said and done.
No. I'm sure nothing happened to him though.
Yeah, no, he's still fucking making a lot of money impregnating Kardashians and.
Oh really?
Yeah, was married to one. He's definitely got like a kid with one of them.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 2022. Highest movie was Avatar: The Way of Water at 2.3 billion. Heat Waves by Glass Animals was, I don't know what that is, #1 song. Ronnie Spector. Oh, I forgot to mention Phil Spector. It said that, American music producer and convicted murderer died. That was a couple years ago. His wife.
My Wedding.
Yeah, what happened?
Go on.
I was going to say.
Phil Spector?
In 2022, Ronnie Spector, his ex-wife, the singer for the Ronettes, Be My Baby. She died of cancer at 78. Meatloaf died. Taylor Hawkins from the Foo Fighters died at 50.
How do you think? Yeah, that was the drummer, right?
Yeah.
With the Foo Fighters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know who fills in for him now touring is Josh Freese from the Vandals. Also plays for.
Oh, that makes sense.
9 Inch Nails touring. He plays for
Perfect Circle.
The Police, the Sting. He's Sting's drummer. He was the Perfect Circle's drummer. But he's the Vandals. He's the punk rock drummer. But he's like the most like famous studio drummer in the business.
For sure.
It's just
and he was the
cool as fuck.
Second drummer for the Vandals, right? He was like much younger than.
Correct. Yeah, like the Vandals had their original lineup from like the 80s, and then they had their second.
The Vandals were fucking
more long
awesome.
lasting.
Peace Through Vandalism.
Still are.
It's so good.
That was their first album. That was really good. It was very like that early OC sound, OC punk rock sound.
Well, Pat Brown.
And then, run the motherfucking cops into the ground. Oh, Pat Brown.
So good. Olivia Newton-John died. What I like about her, you've heard the song, the Me First and the Gimme Gimmes cover it. Have You Never Been Mellow? Great fucking song. Have you never been
probably
mellow?
heard it.
Have you never tried just to get some happiness inside? It's a great song. Yeah, and Me First and the Gimme Gimmes made it about heroin, which I thought was pretty cool. Coolio died. D.H. Peligro, the drummer for the Dead Kennedys, died from a head injury after a fall at the age of 63.
Oof.
His real name was...
He was in good shape, too.
He was. Oh, dude. I just remembered I watched a movie. I fell asleep during it yesterday, starring D.H. Peligro, Keith Morris, and two other dudes from the band Off. It was a movie made by the band Off. What's it called? I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, Off did some really good videography stuff. They made some cool music videos and stuff.
It's a whole movie. It's a sci-fi movie that they made, and it's very fucking trippy. And Keith
Morris annoys me kind of.
Yeah, me too. It's called Free LSD, and it's about a drug to correct erectile dysfunction. But it's like acid and DMT. Like it takes you to another realm, and you become like a different. It was a very interesting movie, and I met.
I would take Keith Morris more serious. Yeah, I've met him like at a Circle Jerk show back in
twice. Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
He got me into
he was nice to me.
Fuck Yeah Fest for free, and I gave him a poem one time at a Rite Aid off of
Hey, he's a short dude. He's real nice. I would take him I take him seriously, don't get me wrong.
No, but he is a dude.
What he's contributed. But once you start losing your hair, fucking cut the dreads, bro. You're so bald, and this was over 15 years ago. Yeah. I'm just dude, what are you doing, man? Cut that fucking dreadlocks off already. It ain't happening.
I like how that's what you have against him, not his conservative politics or his smarmy fucking attitude.
Yeah, cut the hair, dude.
So about DH,
it's like when you see a guy with a big bald spot still trying to fucking grow his hair out. Yeah, it's
for sure.
Bro, just give it up. Just give it up, man.
Shut up, bro. Fuck.
Just because you're Keith Morris. Dude, your hair looks good. You're doing great. Yeah, you don't have the bald. You're just receding. So is mine.
You can't.
You don't have the bald spot,
so D.H. Peligro's real name was Darren Henley. Henley is a derivative of the name Hensley. All of us are related. All Hensleys, all Ainsleys, or Ensleys, or Henleys, we all come from the same people. Now, obviously, there's some deviation there. But I could very well be related to Darren Henley. Jerry Lee Lewis died and Aaron Carter died.
R.I.P. Aaron Carter. I think he tried to stand up. His brother was in the Backstreet Boys, and his brother's been kind of called out for predatory practices as a Backstreet Boy.
I saw that, yeah.
And his brother,
an autistic girl.
Yeah, kind of real. And his brother tried to fucking stand up against him and trying to call him out. But a lot of the Backstreet Boy fangirl army were trying to, doing some backlash on Aaron.
Yeah.
And he's kind of a victim of young fame, got into drugs, etc. But I think at the end of the day, he just sucks what he had to go through.
All of those late 90s kids and the Disney or the Nickelodeon kids with Dan Schneider and all those accusations and shit. You've heard about that, right?
Best part about 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I got married in 2022.
Oh, congrats, brother. Very nice.
Thanks.
Thanks for not
2 years too late, dude.
Thanks for not inviting me to your fucking wedding, dickhead.
It was a small family-only wedding.
It was a small family. Okay, outside. I saw the suits you were wearing. It wasn't that fucking small.
Yeah, it was nice.
It's not like I couldn't afford to go there. It's all good. I know. I totally understand. Queen Elizabeth II died at the age of 96, ending her 70-year reign. Yeah. And the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. Will Smith struck Chris Rock on stage. Thoughts on what? Ukraine and Russia? I'll tell you. I'll give you my thoughts.
Yeah.
I think that Russia kept being don't put NATO any closer to us. and NATO pointed weapons at Russia and forced his hand. I'm not saying it was the right thing to do. I'm just saying we were provoking them. That we want war. We profit from war. And I think there are a lot of Nazis in the Ukraine, and I think that nobody involved is innocent. And I think it's also incredibly funny that the president of Ukraine is a former fucking comedian who pretended to play the piano with his dick on TV. And at the same time, that was happening, a lot of people were attacking stand-up comedy, saying that you can not say certain things. You can't joke about certain things. You can't punch down, blah, 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 blah. In the meantime, we're defending a country ran by Nazis and a former comedian being attacked by...
I don't know how much validity there is to that.
Me either, dude.
Just the Nazis in the Ukraine thing.
What do you mean? Literally, the Canadian Parliament, like, were applauding a former fucking Nazi who is in the Ukrainian government, like last year or 2 years ago. It's been known that Ukraine has former Nazis within its government, is what I've heard.
And ours.
Oh yeah, look at the Nazi scientists got us to the moon. We took a whole bunch of Nazi scientists, Operation Pinhead or something like that. And
at the sake of not ruining my life, I think I'll not touch that one too much.
Okay. Also, I don't know what I'm talking about, people. Anyway, speaking of Nazis, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars for making a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's baldness. By the way, that bitch does not have fucking alopecia. Where is her missing hair? Where's her missing hair? Jeff Ross has alopecia. That's why he looks like that. Where is
she has
Jada?
Alopecia?
Where
On her head, bro.
It's just a shaved head. Alopecia is when there's no more fucking hair.
Regardless of whether or not she has it, he's still a cuck-ass bitch.
Yes, and she's a cunt. She slept with her 18-year-old son's friend when she was like 50.
It was funny where I worked at the time. I asked a bunch of people the next day at work. I was like a dispatcher, and I had like a lot of drivers, so I got a lot of opinions. I'm like, what'd you think?
Yeah.
And some people would be like, oh, most people, Will Smith's a fucking bitch. Like, what a pussy ass bitch.
For sure.
And then some of them were like, standing up for his woman. And I'm like,
stupid. He laughed at the joke.
Yeah. Then you look at his wife. Oh, you don't. All right. I guess I got to go do something about this.
So extreme. He could have just heckled. Like, he didn't need to get on stage and slap a much smaller man who couldn't defend himself.
Insecurity. Mm-hmm. Right.
It made me actually feel really bad for Will Smith because I love Will Smith. Who doesn't?
I don't feel bad for him.
No.
He's got enough money. I don't need to feel bad for him.
Yeah, I know, but just to
he can go fuck himself with a solid gold dildo if he wanted to.
I'm sure he would love that, actually. And then there was...
While his wife watches.
Well, she sucks an 18-year-old's penis. Maybe all the hair that she's missing is on her vagina.
Yeah, can we see that for validity?
Oh, you want me to pull that up?
Show me your pussy. I need to make sure about this. 2023.
Wait, hold on. There's the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard trial, and Elon
If a bitch shits in my bed on purpose to make a point,
a grumpy,
I would take her to court too.
For sure. My whole thing with that was like an older rich man leaves his family to be with a much younger hot woman, and she ruined his life. What a big fucking shocker. Nothing like that has ever happened before. What a fucking shocker.
Fair.
And Elon Musk bought Twitter for $55 billion. 2023.
That was you gotta, if there's an election coming up, you gotta control the we need our Goebbels for this election, and Elon Musk was the Goebbels for that election.
Yeah.
The propaganda minister and whoever controls the fucking media.
Yeah. I don't know. Twitter sucks. We get followers on there, but it's like only bots, and it's like pointless.
Throw a message out to those bots. Sup, guys?
Shout out bots. Thank you. Number one.
Shout out to bots.
2023 number one hit song was Last Night, but Morgan Wallen. But number two was Flowers by
Last night we let the liquor talk.
Is that what that
and
is?
then we said it all. Yeah.
Number two was
song.
Flowers by Miley Cyrus, and I feel like that's like
Good song.
it is a good song.
It's a good song. It's a good pop song.
It's a good melody. I feel like it's one of the best pop songs in like 20 fucking years, honestly. Like if you charting, go through the Billboard charts for the last 25 years, music dropped off fucking 20 years ago. It's fucking crazy, dude. And it's just been dominated by like the least talented fucking people in the world. The highest grossing movie was Barbie, beating out Super Mario and Oppenheimer.
Barbie was awesome.
Fucking suck. Barbie was awesome. Barbie was hilarious. I found myself laughing out loud to it, and that's something I almost never do with fucking movies anymore. Lisa Marie Presley died. David Crosby.
I like the Matchbox 20 song in use of that song in Barbie. I wanna push you around. Well, I will. And they're trying to be romantic, and all the Kens are singing that song to Barbie.
I don't remember.
They're trying to. That's when they're like taking over Barbie Land, and they're singing like the "I want to push you around. I want to take you for granted."
I thought that was a really good, funny fucking movie. Honestly, Alan beating up the Kens at the end. Yeah. That was awesome.
Margot Robbie, total babe.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ! Her as fucking Harley Quinn. There's no better jerk in the world. David Crosby died. I remember telling you that David Crosby died.
Unless it's a jerk with soap.
I remember telling you that David Crosby died, and you were like, "Yeah, who cares?" I was like, "Damn, dude." He was Lionel Hutz's fucking sponsor on The Simpsons. I was like, "Damn."
I said that to you like over the phone. We talked, and I was like, "Who cares?"
Yeah, you were like, "Who cares, man?" I was like, "Damn, that's harsh." Burt
Yes. Damn, David Crosby dies. Who gives a fuck?
Burt Bacharach died. Harry Belafonte. Tina Turner died.
Are we in 2023?
Yeah. Tina Turner, Sinead O'Connor, Jimmy Buffett.
Hey, Burt Bacharach. Like when I hear him, I think of Austin Powers too.
Exactly.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Elvis Costello and Burt Bacharach.
Was that what the world needs now?
Needs now. Wait, no. They did a.
That was the.
No. They did a little. They did a little jingle. Fuck. What was it?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It was good. Nice little musical interlude in Austin Powers. I think it might have been the first or second one.
I think it was the first one. Those first two hold up,
good.
in my opinion. There's some of the funniest comedy movies ever. Sinead O'Connor. When I was growing up, I thought her name was Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah, me too. Like a tornado?
Yeah, that's what
Sinead.
That's literally what I thought earlier. That's crazy that you just did that. Jimmy Buffett died of Merkel cell carcinoma.
Rest in cheeseburger paradise.
Right. Margaritaville. Trump becomes the first former president to face criminal charges. Hamas attacks Israelis.
That really didn't amount to much, did it? Like all those criminal charges?
Obviously not. He's a convicted felon, and now he's a fucking no jail time. Yeah. He can be president, but you can't vote for who's going to be president if you're a felon. But you can be president. Pretty ridiculous. And the Supreme Court guts affirmative action, and of course the Hamas attacks on the Israelis at that rave, and Israel's insane response. The SAG-AFTRA. The SAG-AFTRA.
Yeah, Israel's insane response, understatement.
Yeah. 70.
Here's our chance. Genocide.
Yeah. Let's step it up, everybody. Yeah, no, I got a little bit deeper into that, and I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to share this on the podcast. Like, they rescinded things that were like a sensible. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah, let's just skip over that and just go, that sucked.
Yeah.
Because
and it continues to suck.
This is just a quarter century in a review. You know? Yeah, that shit sucked.
And then there was the SAG-AFTRA strike, all the screenwriters and the Writers Guild going on strike. Gives a fuck. Suck my dick.
All right, so we just go to this year and just wrap it up.
Well, there was the submersible, the Titanic submersible.
Oh yeah, the Titanic.
Everybody
Fuck those billionaires.
I mean, but there was a child on board. Like, I mean, then there's still people.
And yeah, he
We
didn't
don't know
want
if
to
they
go.
did anything bad. No one knows anything about those people. Just because they're rich doesn't mean they deserve to die. Yeah, they did something stupid, but how many poor people do something stupid every single fucking day and also destroy other people's lives? Just because they're rich doesn't mean they automatically deserve to die. Like the CEO
What about the?
who was assassinated the other day. He had 2 children.
Yeah, he probably.
Now those 2 children have to grow up without a father.
They have plenty of money. They'll be fine.
That doesn't mean anything.
And you know,
that doesn't.
yeah, I think it does make a difference, Josh. I wouldn't be trying to defend a guy who.
I'm not defending.
whose whole
I'm not
compa-
defending. I'm
whose
talking about.
companies.
I get it. I know
on
that.
a micro.
I know.
On a micro,
I know.
it's really shitty for those kids. For those 2 kids, it's really shitty. On a macro, better for society. And that's just where we are now.
Is that what we want? We want vigilante justice?
Is real justice working?
Does Hamas killing innocent people equate to good?
I'm talking about. I'm going to stick to the U.S. on this one.
It's the same thing.
Are-
It's human.
Are we
rights.
getting justice with Donald Trump's war crimes and all this?
I believe that Donald Trump
we getting-
deserves to be killed for what he's done to this country and the division that he's caused.
And now he's president. And
But at the same time, can't we look at life in less of a black and white way? Like, what about the
I mean, this dude just let so many people. This dude's whole business model was to
get that. I
Yeah.
totally fucking get it. But at the same time, do we really want the citizenry of this country going out and murdering people at their will? Is that what we want?
It's worked in the past. French Revolution.
Okay.
The French Revolution.
Then what about
Yeah.
the American Revolution? Suddenly,
That's completely
it doesn't.
different.
How is it different?
Well, they were killing
Because
the rich
the
in the French
colonials-
Revolution, the bourgeoisie.
And the colonials weren't killing their oppressors. I get that the colonials were oppressors of their own.
It's a different type of revolution. They wanted to make their own. They wanted to be their own country. The French wanted to. It was the
French
class
helped
war.
us become this country. And
These are 2 completely unrelated things. So just because it has the word revolution doesn't mean it's the same thing. It's the working class kind of getting justice the way that they can, because the rich will never have to pay for their crimes.
Whereas it was
What's up?
I see what you're saying. Whereas here in America, it was the upper class of the colonials, of the Americans, rebelling against Great Britain, right? Like it.
Correct.
Right.
And they I don't think. I mean, at the American Revolution, they just said, we want to be our own country. We're done being fucking taxed by you. And then UK said, well, not the UK, the Britain, like, fuck you aren't,
And now we're doing a
tired.
podcast.
Not making sense. Yeah. Now we might have 2 people hearing this going, you guys are fucking idiots.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for listening. Inside Out 2.
Thanks for listening.
Okay, so in 2024, the Billboard doesn't have top songs yet. For some reason, there was a highest and lowest grossing movie, Inside Out.
I'm going to shout out 2 important deaths of 2024.
Okay. Tito.
My guinea pig's Barry. Rest in peace, Barry. And my guinea pig, Gary. I miss you both very much. Daddy loves you.
Barry and Gary. Rest in peace, guys.
Hi, Henry. Staring at
So
me.
Mojo Nixon died. Toby Keith, Tito Jackson, Chris.
Mojo Nixon had some had some good albums.
I've never listened. I looked up his song "Elvis Is Everywhere." It was pretty good.
When he died, I did like a deep dive into his music, and I'm like, dude, this is pretty fucking good, man.
Oh, nice. Chris Christopherson died. He wrote Me and Bobby McGee, which is
Because if your store don't got no Mojo Nixon,
then your store could use some fixin'.
exactly. Thank you.
Shout out Dead Milkman. Chris Christopherson died the day that I got home from Skankfest and that you and I recorded that episode. I actually gave him a tribute at the start of that episode.
Good shit.
One of the guys from One Direction died by falling off a balcony, and Quincy Jones Jr. died.
That was one of the guys. I like how you just glance over that one. Dude from One Direction just fell. I think he jumped. He was like smoking cocaine out of tinfoil.
Oh. Ugh.
You ever smoke cocaine?
I don't think you can smoke. It has to be crack. That's the only way you can smoke.
Yeah, you can smoke cocaine, dude. You never smoke a chewy?
That's
Never fucking put any fucking cocaine in a blunt?
I mean, yeah, a P-Dog. Remember Timmy?
Yeah.
Remember big ass Timmy?
Yeah, I remember Timmy. Yeah, he used to smoke P-Dogs.
Yeah, he introduced me to the Big Lebowski. So I worked at Ralph's, and he worked at In-N-Out, and then we went.
Yeah, I worked with In-N-Out with him.
And
yeah.
both of those organizations are in the Big Lebowski, right? And then we went back to.
That's right. They get In-N-Out in the Big Lebowski.
Yeah, and it starts at Ralph's, and we went back to Elliot's garage where Timmy lived at the time, and we put on the Big Lebowski, and I fell in love with that movie ever since. Also, did you know Timmy's dead?
I did know Timmy's dead. And I want to go back to 2021 and shout out Elliot, our friend Elliot Cheyenne, who passed away.
Yeah, rest
in that year. So quarter century in review. Elliot, rest in peace.
So many friends.
And
Jesus Christ, there's so many. There's fucking so many.
To end, what went on this year? So what, we're gonna have another Trump presidency. Any cool songs this year?
No, it didn't give me any listing for that.
I want to shout out Sabrina Carpenter's new album.
Oh, she's a little spinner. I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
She's got a nice butt, that's for sure. I'd rather fuck Doja Cat. Doja Cat is fucking hot.
There's a cool metal band my friend Mike is in called Hemotoxin. They came out with a really cool album this year.
Nice. Shout out.
Hemotoxin.
What platforms are they on? Where can people follow them?
Spotify, everything. You name it.
Nice. There was a huge ancient city discovered in the Amazon, capable of supporting 10,000 people with sophisticated roads and canals. Pope Francis says surrogate motherhood should be banned, and it's despicable for commercializing pregnancy. Stupid. Kendrick.
Go suck a cock, Pope Francis.
Yeah. Well, no, he's the one that's like pro-gay marriage, and like he's one of the most open-minded popes of all time, except for that.
If people want kids, let them have them kids.
Yeah. No, it's stupid. I understand where he's coming from that certain point of view, but that's a dumb point of view.
I like Kendrick Lamar. His rap beef with Drake, and then calling out Drake publicly for being a pedophile.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
This was pretty good.
I'll just end it on this.
Anything else you want to?
President of the United States, Joe Biden, announces he will not seek re-election and endorses his Vice President, Kamala Harris, to be the Democratic candidate. And we all know what happened after that.
Yeah.
Let that sink in, you sons of bitches. Happy New Year's, everybody. This has been the Let's Ruin Our Lives podcast. This has been...
Happy New Year's, everybody.
The first 25 years in review. So far, pretty fucking shitty century. Hopefully moving forward, we go ahead hating everyone as much as we can, hating ourselves. Don't do anything to improve your neighborhood. Don't improve the country. Don't love the country that you live in. Hate it with all your might. And
litter a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Don't pick up your trash.
Don't pick up your trash. Just, you know what? Go to Starbucks and just start flipping shit over. You know what I mean? Just hate. Hate as much as you can. Okay?
Flip off of grandma.
Punch kids, punch Nazis, anybody who disagrees with you, they're a piece of shit, and they're not worth your time. Your family is not really your family. Your friends aren't your friends. And may we all rot in hell for what we've done to this world.
Nothing's real anyways.
Very true, my friend. Also, that being said, I'm just kidding. You are the universe itself. God is love. You are God. And there's no such thing as anything except that which you believe in.
Be good to each other.
Bye.
Later.
Faggots.